Hey, thanks for tuning in. Today I'd like to tell you a little bit about my cat and how wonderful she's doing, how she's purring right now, and how she's allowing me to groom her more than she's ever let me do it before because she's been recovering from this illness with her infected tooth and just crusted with a bunch of stuff. So getting through all that crust and getting it off of her and keeping her clean has been a task, and she's trusting me more and more to do a little bit more each time than I did before to groom her. And she's almost perfectly clean, I'd say. She just has a little bit of swelling still in her left face right here, and her eye's still leaking a little bit. But that's to be expected because the swelling is pushing pressure on her tear ducts, I believe, and making more water come out of that area. But for the moment, she's doing a lot better. She's always been a very hygienic cat. She's always been very, very grooming and very regal, we would say. Look at her right there. Now she's cleaning herself. Perfect example. Way to show it off to the camera. Proof positive, folks. The proof is in the pudding. Lucy is very self-grooming. Say hi to the camera, Lucy. She's being a little camera shy. She's been off camera for a while, healing up. But she looks so much better now, and she's standing up and moving around. I don't know how long she actually has, to be honest. It could be a couple of weeks. It could be, hopefully, 5 or 10 more years if I'm lucky. Or, yeah, if we're lucky, I guess. But I just don't want her to suffer. I want her to have the best life possible from this point on forward now that I know what's at odds here. I mean, life's precious. You don't know how long you have. You don't know how long your loved ones have. No one knows. So, I don't know. It's interesting that we can be mad at each other at all sometimes, but I guess we forget those things and get upset from time to time. But it's hard to get upset if you think along those terms. It's like, shouldn't you just make every opportunity to make this moment right now worth it? I'd like to think I can remember that when I need to. We'll find out, though. Oh, you are just a purr bucket. Mwah. Yeah, I hope I don't forget that. That'd be a good script to live by, because just to live every single day like it might be your last and take advantage of every opportunity to make it the best it possibly can be and just enjoy life as best you can. Do the best you got, give it your best shot, and enjoy it whenever you have the opportunity to. Even where you're working, especially while you're working. If you can enjoy your life while you're working, then I think you're ahead of the curve. There's no man more wealthier, no person, no individual more wealthier than someone who can really enjoy what they're doing for work and just enjoying their life overall. Because if you can enjoy what you're doing for work and it makes you feel good and you can sleep at night knowing you did a good thing, then it's going to make life a lot more worth living, I think, than someone who's making millions and millions of dollars. I don't see how anyone could be possibly happy with themselves when you look around the world and see how much suffering there is out there. But who knows? Maybe one day I'll be a millionaire and my attitude will change. We'll find out later. Stay tuned. Oh, you are just purring all over the place. Health. Health's definitely something we won't take for granted. That's for sure. I know I take mine for granted, and I need to go get a checkup. And a lot of these doctors won't accept people without insurance, which is very frustrating because, yeah, insurance is a racket and expensive. And the whole doctor to doctor to doctor game thing is just ridiculous when you're trying to get something treated. Like sometimes you have to see several specialists and get them all to communicate together just to be able to get a certain kind of treatment. It's ridiculous how they break down the body into eye, ear, nose, throat, and the pulmonologist for your bronchial tubes in your lungs, and you got the cardiologist, and you got the all these different ologists taking care of different parts of your body. I'm sorry, sir, we only focus on Achilles tendons. It's kind of ridiculous if you really think about it, but hey, there's a lot of ridiculous things about our society and how our medical system works and about how pretty much everything works. Look at that drool. Look at that. Good opportunity for the camera to soak that one in. The drool does not smell horrible anymore. It doesn't smell like anything really. It smells like cat saliva that's been practicing very good oral hygiene. What are you doing to keep your mouth so minty fresh, Lucy? Isn't she beautiful? I love you, Lucy. Give a kiss. That was the cat kiss. She's a very gentle kisser. She likes to keep a little bit of space between my lips and hers, which is probably smart because she probably practices better oral hygiene than I do. And I brush at least twice a day and floss regularly and use mouthwash before I go to bed every night. I found a rough patch near her thigh. She usually doesn't like that area brushed very much because it's very thick, but she's letting me work my way through it right now because I've been grooming her. Every time I come over here, I spend some time grooming her, and she's been more and more agreeable with what I'm trying to do. She had a bunch of stuff stuck inside of her whiskers. Look at that, she loves me. I love you too. It's so good to have you back. And she had a bunch of crust in her whiskers, and it was just irritable just to like come near it with your finger. She would like pull away, and she didn't want you touching her, even to the point where she'd swipe at you. And she never ever does that. She's always had her claws, but she's been always very aware of how much her claws are digging into you, and she never hurts you. She has probably taken out some of her natural tendencies on some furniture, but if you put a blanket over it, she's really good about not doing that and just using her scratchy post. But anyways, I was paying some attention to her whiskers, and I put just a moist paper towel on there and let it sit on there for a while, and it softened it up, and a lot of the crud came off. But it's been a work in progress because there was quite a bit of this mucus that was coming out of her mouth, and just like it was brushing against the side of her face, and she kept trying to clean it off, but it was just making it worse because she didn't realize how infected she was. And I knew that she was infected too, and we gave her antibiotics, and that infection really took hold within just a couple days, really, really fast and really bad. And in that course of time, it really built up on her whiskers on the same side where she had her tooth problems. But she's doing so much better. That swelling has gone down a lot. And you can definitely see it in her behavior now. This is just wonderful. It brings me so much joy. You have no idea, knowing that she's on an upswing and improving as much as she is. I tend to keep things pretty positive when I'm talking about my cat, and this is for the whole internet to see and everything like that. But this is really a good day, because the previous days I think I might have been being a little bit too optimistic and a little bit too hopeful throughout most of this process of Lucy, and a little bit in denial even of how severe some of this stuff is, even though I have been doing my very best to take care of her needs to the nth degree. It's a really good thing to see this dedication for herself, and between me and her and my friend Irina, that the cat is getting much better now, mostly thanks to Irina and Lucy having a good environment to get her health back. What do you say? How about you join me with a new retirement home? We'll see how she feels. I mean, when I get my new house, I'd love to bring her on over there, and yeah, I'd love it if she was spending some more time with me. I gotta spend more time with her, though. It's a two-way street, you see. And I think right now she's probably happier than she's been in a long time with how much she's been suffering, this poor thing. And you're the manager of my channel. I need you. I need your help. I need your assistance and guidance. She knows exactly what she's doing when it comes to producing videos. She gives me some of the best inspiration and the best constructive criticism. So far we got quite a size poof of Lucy hair coming off of this on her favorite brush. And I think that's going to go in the garbage. Sometimes I would save large clumps of her fur so I can turn it into a scarf. I made a video about that. I'm a weird guy. Check the description down below and find out a link to that video on how I'd use a drop spindle in order and blend Lucy's fur with other animals' fur. I used a drop spindle, blended Lucy's fur with other animal fur, because it's the only way to spin cat fur. Cat fur is too straight, and when you twist it, it just slides right off itself. But if you blend it with other animal fur on a blending board, and then use a drop spindle twice in one direction, and then once to apply the two threads together to make proper yarn, then, if you're like me and you know a little bit about crocheting, you can crochet your cat's fur into a scarf. I'm not saying you should, but I'm saying it's an option if you're thinking about it. Alright folks, that calls it for this video today. I've said way too much. Now you know way too much about me and my personal life with my manager, Lucy the cat here. I love you. I'll end this video the same way, folks. Please remember to never give up. Do your best. Stay true to you and who you are, and be amazing. Just be the best version of yourself and you'll be amazing. Thanks for watching, everyone. Beautiful night. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.